right, good afternoon everybody. So we're here again with another interview because the last one went really well and everybody seems to like this format and seems to like that I'm sharing out there my network of professionals that I work with in the area. Typically when I have clients come or people call me, I just share everybody's number out via WhatsApp or whatever other method goes out. This way you're actually getting a chance to meet the people that I share out all the time within my professional network of trusted people. Today, we're talking with Eddie. Eddie's from Azure Logistics, and Eddie helps people to get things to Panama from lots of times their home countries or from other countries. So we're going to find out a little bit more about what Eddie does, where Eddie services, and all those other interesting things that help people to get things imported and buy things online while living in Panama with all the conveniences of being back home. So Eddie, welcome to my office today, and let's have a good chat.
Well, first of all, Ken, thank you very much for allowing me to be on your channel. Thank you.
No worries.
Let us go.
So I've known Eddie for a good couple years now. And Eddie provides services for me and my family and for my business. So it's not like Eddie's just some random dude that's out there that I decided to have an interview with. Yeah. Eddie's always in my house drinking coffee, talking to me, talking to my wife, delivering packages, things like that. So Eddie, let's start off a little bit. Tell me where you're from.
Well, I've been born in South Africa, Pretoria.
That explains why you talk funny?
Exactly. We've been very soft. And otherwise, as I said, born in South Africa, and we basically left South Africa in 2018. So I've been most of the time in South Africa.
Okay, so you've been in Panama since 2018, or did you boot around the world for a little bit?
No. Okay. From 2018, we decided, my family and all, and my father, my two kids and my wife, we came through to Panama. We started off in Alto Boquete, and then Los Algarrobos, between Boquete and David, and then we came over to Las Tablas.
Okay, so now you live in Las Tablas.
That's correct. That's where I'm based.
Okay, so why Las Tablas and why not somewhere else in the area? What's the idea of being in Las Tablas?
To me, it's very central, very central for the business.
Okay.
Because we cover Azuero Valencia. Mm-hmm. So I cover Chitre, I cover Perita. Mm-hmm. I go all the way down to Cabotal. Mm-hmm. All that area is actually being covered from my Las Tablas little base. Okay. And that's basically how we've been operating for going for almost 2 years.
Okay. All right. So Eddie, like myself, is kind of, your non-typical retiree that is here and earning a living as a foreigner in Panama. And most of us that are here earning a living in Panama, we don't generally get jobs and punch a clock. We usually do businesses, right?
That's correct.
Because that's what we're necessary to do in order to make a decent living and be in Panama. So why did you come to Panama from South Africa? What inspired that move for you?
It was just for a better education, a better lifestyle for my children.
Right.
And that is why we, from South Africa's point of view, it wasn't as great anymore. So we then decided to move over, and it's been fantastic. It's I can see by the kids how they're loving it. It's freedom, mm-hmm. and it's also with work opportunities as well. It's actually much easier than if it will be back at home. So basically, a better life.
Yeah. Yes. Typical immigrant story.
There we go.
Immigrant story.
No, I don't want to make this little seem to be a negative one.
No. But I mean, my family came here for a better life in Panama as well.
Exactly.
So I don't have to shovel snow.
Yeah, there we go.
So, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about the details of your business soon.
Yes.
But what inspired you to do the business that you're doing? Why get into the logistics and international import business?
Well, for me, I used to. First of all, you're ordering items, stuff that you buy here from the stores and that, and the quality. You find the quality is not as good. And then I've started to look around and I saw everybody's buying online and Amazon, eBay. And then it becomes like, how do you get it here? And then that was where you could say, where the birth of the company came.
Okay. So you saw a need.
And that I saw there was a big need.
Yeah.
And I then started going into the basically of online.
Right.
And then on the sideline, it was also, I found out there's a lot of people that they want to come here, but they got nobody to communicate with their equipment, like their household goods from international move from America to here. It'll get to the harbour, and then that's where it stops. And then it's like almost they got a link to other people, and so there was again I saw another need.
Right.
And where I can come along, go get your things, bring it over here, and I'm still busy with you to bring it to your doorstep.
Right.
So it's not handing over to different companies. We consolidate the whole package.
Okay.
And so that's what the international, and I also do domestic moves as well.
Right.
It can be very tricky.
Right.
It's not just back at home, pack your truck and off you go.
Okay.
You need permits. You need to get paper documents. If the cops stop you on the road, if nothing is correct,
right,
they turn you back. They turn you. They turn the truck around.
Right.
And so it's very, when it comes to Panama, it's very paper orientated.
Right. Right. Okay.
I'm sure you can.
Oh, I can attest to that. My everyday is lawyers and paperwork and banking and documents and all that type of stuff. I say I'm a paper monkey, so that's a lot of what I do.
And that's basically the same. The permit is to make that you are allowed to leave one province to the other province.
Okay. So it sounds like it's a complicated business that you're in. It sounds like it's a very service-oriented business.
Yes.
Obviously, you had a life and a career before you came to Panama. So what gives you the background to be able to go into this type of business and do it well? What's your professional background?
Well, fortunately, back in the day, much younger, I was working in the education department, and I was in the stores section and working with stores. They taught me how to provide, how to look, how to order. And I was always in connection with the marine, with the air, with the roads, getting the things over. So basically my responsibility back at home was to order stationery, papers, pens, right down to even the cement blocks that you've got to build the school with. That would be in our...
So you were purchasing, receiving, shipping,
exactly.
Okay, for the Ministry of Education in South Africa.
That's correct, that's correct. So that basically is like quite a big background of mine.
Right.
And so yeah, it's very interesting. It always used to thrill me to sit and you look at something that's empty, and when you've completed your job, there it is. It's the same as you go, you order your things. To me, what makes me so happy is when I come in here and I get referred as Father Christmas or Santa, and that's what I like. I like to see the smile on the face of my clients, and they go, "Yeah, you brought my things so quick."
When you show up to my house, I always say it's present day.
Exactly.
It's present day. So yeah, it's nobody's ever angry to see you.
No.
When you bring them their stuff. Right?
Exactly.
So let's talk a little bit about what exactly you do. You've touched on some of the services you offer, but let's get a little bit more into detail so people understand. I always refer you over to clients. I always refer you over to people, and it tends to be that they're looking for one thing or another. But I think there's some things that you do that people don't even know that you do until they need them. So I think it's good to get that type of information out there in this video. So let's get you to list off all the services that you actually do offer.
All right. First of all, our offer is like when you get your online order, you provide me your tracking number.
Okay.
Once we work out that it will be X day at the warehouse, I know that we have about 6 to 8 working days to get it into Panama.
Okay. So online orders from where?
Okay. Amazon, eBay, any offsite that you got lined up, you don't have to just order from Amazon. You don't have to just order from eBay. If you got something like, I got a client that wants to order a woodcutter, and that's not going to be on Amazon. So he's in America, and he's actually at the people's website ordering direct.
Right.
So now, by doing that, you just say, okay, look, you order, and then that goes to the warehouse. From the warehouse, it comes over to me.
Okay, so typically people are ordering online in America, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
yes,
not
yes.
Canada, not England.
Actually, no, I should correct you there.
Okay.
I have people that has ordered stuff from China, Turkey. I've had people order from India.
Okay.
So it's going to an online site, order, and it comes to the warehouse.
Okay.
From the warehouse, it comes back to us.
Where's the warehouse?
In Miami.
In Miami.
In Miami, sometimes there is a bit of a with the computers. If you put in the address, I think it says Doral.
Okay.
That pops up. It's still fine.
Okay.
It does cause a bit of confusion. It's like, it's supposed to be Miami.
It's like a suburb of Miami or something like that.
And then, so if you've got that popping up, that's fine.
Okay.
But yes, Miami is where the big warehouse is. And I've also got news that they were telling me yesterday, Amazon with our warehouse is tax-free.
Okay.
And if you order anything from eBay, will be joining later on.
Okay.
But for my clients and for any new clients, if you do come along on board, Amazon, if you order things, you don't get taxed.
Right. That's huge, because I know every time I order something on Amazon and I got to pay American taxes, it kind of makes me a little bit angry, because why? Like, you know, I live in a foreign country. I shouldn't have to pay those taxes.
Well,
so
it's being waived.
I think it's important when we're talking about Amazon and stuff like that. So when I was in Canada, as I'm Canadian, we were on Amazon.ca. When I started ordering stuff and shipping it to the warehouse in Miami for Eddie to bring it to my door, I had to switch my account to Amazon.com, which is the U.S. Amazon. The U.S. Amazon site, which I actually think is great, because there's a huge difference in selection of items
and prices.
And prices are better. And yeah, I mean, it's just a better. You know, I wish I could have ordered more stuff off of Amazon.com when I was in Canada, and I guess I could have, but then I would have had to ship it over, and it's probably just my laziness that I didn't. So okay, so Amazon, eBay, other online sites, and then that goes down to the warehouse in Miami.
Yes.
And then, what happens when it's in the warehouse in Miami? Does it get shipped by air? Does it get shipped by boat, by train, by truck? What happens?
Okay, it goes basically by the code that you put on. Remember, I always normally emphasize on all my clients, when you get this name, please write Pro LTL. Pro means Panama, LTL means Las Tablas. So when Miami gets packages, they just see Pro LTL. That is the sign of air.
Okay.
All right. So now they know this packet for the next day is flying out to Panama. If you got Pro LTL and it's MAR for marine, then they know, okay, now this is now where the trick comes. If it gets from midday on Wednesday before, then it will be loaded that Friday onto the ocean ship.
Okay.
If it comes after the midday of Wednesday, it will only be loaded on the ship the following Friday.
Okay.
And then we work on that one again. Now, as with the air, it depends on where you stay. So you could be staying in, let's say you Pedasea. You'll know your prices you pay. It's $2.95 a pound.
Right.
But
so
now
$2.95 a pound by air shipping.
By air shipping.
Delivered to my door.
Correct.
Right.
And that now, if we look at a person that's now in Combotol, he's now going to pay a little bit more, because I've got to travel from Las Tablas all the way to Combotol, which then
is about an hour and a half.
Correct.
Each way.
And then I charge him $4.20 a pound. That's not current prices today.
Right.
And with the ocean, we don't go by weight. They go by according to the storage space that's been used on the ship.
Which is what? Cubic inches?
Cubic feet.
Cubic feet.
Yeah,
okay.
Cubic feet.
Okay.
So whatever cubic feet they are going to be using. So let's say you've ordered a tub. A tub should take about, say, 6 to 8 cubic feet.
Okay.
I'm giving a real... Well, all right, let's rather say 12 cubic feet.
Sure.
Quite a big tub.
Yeah.
Now 12, you times that by $12.75.
Right.
We work out by what was only used. That tub could weigh a ton.
Right.
Now it's going to be a problem for me on my side to carry it to you.
That sucks for you.
Yeah. But the thing is, we don't go according to the weight of marine.
Right.
We only go by dimensions.
Right.
But now I'm going to almost sound like a flip coin here. On a air package, you can go up to the size of a tub box. If you go more than that, then the aircraft carrier is going to then charge you by dimension.
Right, but that probably gets expensive.
And that's very expensive. Okay. And that's what I always like telling my clients. Tell me the size, tell me the weight, and then I up it. And then I weigh it. And I say, right, if you're going to go by air and it is so much, your item is 80 pounds. But because of the dimensions, it goes up to 300-400 pounds.
Right.
Now you've got to pay $295 for that. That's over $1,000. You go by marine, and we work on 10. It's $120.
Right.
So
it balances out. So the basic gist, though, is that you give people two different addresses for the warehouse, and one is for air shipping, one's for marine shipping.
It's the same address.
Yeah,
it's still
but different code on the address.
Just a different code. Yes.
And then smaller items, lighter items, air ship.
Yes. And
bigger items, basically, it's better to look at marine shipping.
Correct.
How long does air shipping typically take from the time I order to the time that I got this handsome man at my door?
All right, there we go. It will take basically, let's say you order something online, and it says 3 days, and I know America is very fast. It is extremely fast.
Right.
So they say 3 days, they will be at the warehouse.
Right.
That third day, they will be there.
Right.
Now, from the day it arrives, so let's work on a Friday. You let me know and say, Ed, it has arrived today at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Count Monday
to
the following Monday, 6 working days.
Right.
So in that 6 working days, it gives them the time to, because they don't work on weekends.
Right.
So they're going to be flying the item out. It goes through customs here. Our logistics people go out to go fetch the packages, brings it to Las Tablas, and on that 6th day, it will be ready for me. I'll be invoicing you, I'll be calling you, and I'll be saying, right, are you ready? Can I come and drop it off like I always do?
Right. So basically a week and a half.
There's times that things have surprised me.
Sure.
And we've been here for 4 days.
Yeah.
And it
just depends on timing, though, too.
It's all about timing. Yeah. And then there's times that I'll think, right, okay, I'm too scared to say 4 days because then everybody's going to hold me for it.
Yeah.
And then there's riots, and then it's problems, and then it's public holidays.
Yeah.
Then it's 12 days.
Sure.
So it really depends on
between a week to 2 weeks, typically.
Yes.
Which is still awesome that you can buy something on Amazon, have it delivered to your door for $2.95 a pound, and it's usually here in less than 2 weeks.
That's right. And then, okay, your ocean is different again.
That was my next question. Is how I've never marine shipped personally. I've never bought big stuff to marine ship, so I don't know. So
all right, marine works like I explained to you. The Wednesday noon thing. So if you are before, it gets shipped on the Friday. If it goes after the noon, it gets held for the following Friday. Right. So now it's already, you realize, oh, it arrived 1 o'clock on Wednesday. It's not shipped out on this Friday, so it's going to lay there for a week and a bit. Once that is now on the ship, it depends on how many ports the ship has to also stop. So that's also a bit of a guessing game. Right. You can have a direct line, or you'll stop by 3 or 4 ports.
Okay.
So we normally work on 20 to 25 days. Now we're not saying working days. Now we just say days.
Okay.
So that includes everything.
So plan on a month, right?
I normally
just under a month. Yeah.
Again, I was being surprised, and again 16 days.
Sure.
So, but again,
depends on timing.
I don't hold it as okay. It's that date. That's how it's been.
Right.
I'll keep it as a safety net. 20 to 25 days.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Good to know. Absolutely.
And as I said, it's much cheaper way. Mm-hmm. But I always also like telling my clients too. If they got I had a client here that he wanted a barbecue set.
Yeah.
It was urgent.
Okay.
Very heavy, very big.
Right.
And we gave him all the options. We said, look, marine.
So it was a barbecue emergency, is that what I'm hearing?
That's exactly, it was a very, very emergency. I think it had to be something to be cooking for the in-laws.
Sure.
So he had to get it ASAP. We gave him all the options. We said dimensions, it could be charged by dimensions, it could be charged by weight, and it could be by marine, would be like X amount.
Okay.
We gave him all 3. He wanted air. Mm-hmm. Again, we left him with that could. thank goodness they didn't charge by dimensions, they charged by weight.
Right.
He got it very quick.
Right.
So therefore it's very important to always, I like to communicate with my clients, telling them if something very urgent, go there. If you can wait and it's very, very heavy, go buy OSHA.
Right.
That's normally my golden rule.
Sure. And that makes sense. It's common sense,
yeah.
right? So, okay. So online ordering and packages and all that stuff, we covered that. What else do you do?
No, yeah, now you got me.
Moving. I'm going to give you a hint. Moving. You do moving. So.
I mean, running with all this stuff. Sorry. Thanks, kid. I must feel the grey hair and the grey moustache. Moving. Yeah, we do international moving as well.
Okay.
And we also, and it's not, I've moved people from Canada, I've moved people from America to Panama. And as I said in the beginning, we like to make it that it's a package. It's a thing that's we help you from that side all the way to Panama. And once our brokers have dealt with the customs and everything is concluded, our guys go and fetch it and we drop it off at your door.
Right.
Many places you'll find they'll use brokers that come this side and then they say, oh, but you're in now, no, let's say Tennessee. Hang on, you need another 1,500 because now it's a shipment from a truck, another company to move it from there, where ours is all concluded.
Right.
There's no extra added prices.
Right.
And
an all-in package, no surprises.
Yes, if there have to be like a certain increase of the fuel with the ships or so,
right.
and they put it on, they will show the client.
Now, I've always been told when it comes to moving and large imports, it's always better to pull stuff into Panama than push it into Panama.
Yes.
In other words, using Panamanian brokers to bring it in rather than, for example, American or Canadian brokers to necessarily push it. Is that true, or have I been given...
No, I think you're on the spot there, because the people I'm dealing with is Panamanian.
Right. They know the system.
They know the system, they know the language.
Right.
So there's no... You and me have to walk in there and explain out to customs. It's going to be a big language barrier. It's going to be confusions. It's going to be so many problems that it's going to end up, we're going to make our client pay tax duties, sin tax, etc. So it's great. We are the provider that I'm busy with.
Right.
Is a Panamanian.
Right.
He's based in Panama.
Right.
So he's been doing this for 10 years.
Right.
So it's not something new to him.
Right.
And he knows all the people. If I have an issue, I'll speak to him. In 2 minutes, he'll come back to me and say, there's your answer.
Right.
We solved it. Tell your client everything is fine.
Right.
So it is true. If you're on this side, rather stick to the Panamanian because they know the ins and outs.
Okay, good. Are people generally shipping full sea cans worth of stuff, or do you do partial loads, or...
Okay, we do. I've already dealt with a 20-foot container.
Okay.
Half a container. But I've also dealt a lot with where people will sit there and say, it's not even a half a load.
Okay.
What do we do?
Like a pallet's worth?
A pallet, that's right.
Okay.
And then I'll tell them, all right, take your pallet, pack it up, and then they think it's of certain height. And I said, look, man, I've had a 6-foot statue come this way already. Yeah. So you go up as much as you want. Right. I give them a very a quick quote by say if it's 4 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot will be 864. Right. That's about there. And then I said, now that's just by keeping it as 4 foot by 4 foot. Sure. And then they're like, but we can go higher. I'm like, for sure, you can go higher. Right. Just remember, it's going to start taking space. And that is what the ship charges. Space. Yeah. It's just the space.
I know, I see a lot of people get very stressed over the move, obviously. It's a big life change. And so being able to come to somebody like you that has answers, I think that's important, right? So it does make people feel much at ease. Yeah. It does make people, because it's very nervous. Yeah. I was being told when we were immigrating, there is 2 major stress levels. One's a funeral, and the other one's immigration. Sure, And I just buried my mom. Yeah. It's not as stressful as immigration. Right, yeah. Because there's a lot of uncertainties. You know, if somebody dies, you know they're going to hole in the ground. Whereas immigrant, there's a lot of uncertainties when you're immigrating. You can lose your stuff. You have to pay extra in. So there is so many unsure, and I think that's your big enemy. Right. Unsurety. Yeah. Because you're not too. I know in my life that's my biggest stress is uncertainties. That's right. And by doing that,
the poor guys, they're not too sure what's going to happen with customs. What's going to be the outcome?
Right.
And that's where where if you got now this whole system in place and everything works out and we got our documents and we send it in and everything, it's like a smooth engine.
Okay. So you mentioned you moved a lot of people from Canada and America.
Yes.
What about we got a lot of Europeans coming right here, and we got South Africans coming right now as well. There seems to be a big influx of Germans and French. There's always been a lot of Swiss. I've got some Italians coming, and there's been a lot of South Africans over the last few years coming to Panama as well. Can you help those people?
With my brokers, we can discuss it, and definitely, yes. Okay. It's something that can be. There's always hope.
Right.
And
a solution.
And a solution to everything.
Okay,
yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good stuff. Backing up a minute, we talked about the warehouse in Miami. How easy is it for people to get that address in Miami?
Very easy. You click on the link that I got from azwerologistics.godaddy .com, I think.
Okay. We'll put the link in the bottom of the video, don't worry.
And it's basically, you click on that, you just register.
Yeah.
Name, your address, your email address, what is the reason, you just put in there, I want to move, and then you can sit and say, is it going to be less in a container, is it a full container, is it going to be a pallet,
right?
Or even it's.
But once I have that address and I want to order some on Amazon, I just put that address in Amazon and it just gets sent. And,
correct. So the minute I receive your email, I will reply back. I will thank you for communicating. Then I send on all the information that you require. The Pro LTL. The Pro LTL MAR for MAR. Yeah. So those are the.
So am I getting some customer service center in India or the Philippines, or am I getting Eddie when I communicate?
You'll be getting Eddie. Okay. Okay. No, I don't go and communicate with it. No. Okay. No. So if you have any problems, if you have like I was talking just now to you, when a client picks up a problem in the package. I have like now recently a client turned around and said, look, I've ordered, it's been a month. Normally that is a case of not saying that it's the client, it's more the provider.
Right.
Does not add the Pro LTL on.
Right, there's an address mistake.
There's just now, so now basically the warehouse has got the guy's name and the address, so they know it comes here, but now who does it go to? Right. So within the person communicating with me, I then trace the tracking number, then tell them that's my package.
Right. So when people need to communicate with you when there's problems, what's the best way to communicate with you?
You can communicate with me on WhatsApp. You can communicate with me on email.
Okay.
And as I say, I take calls all the time. Okay. I'm not the type that will switch off at certain. I receive calls. I help where I can.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, switching back over to moving people, because I think it's important. It's hard to find. I know we moved here before you were in business, so correct. Otherwise I would have used you, obviously. Correct. But I know it was difficult. It was stressful for me. And if I had to move, say I was going to leave Pedicee, or sometimes I have clients that leave Pedicee. We talked a little bit before about domestic moves.
That's right.
You do domestic moves as well. You got labor to help load stuff, unload stuff. You got trucks to pick the stuff up and move the stuff. Why would I hire you over getting my neighbor with a truck down the road if a client wanted to move, say, from here to Panama City or Boquete? Why would I hire you? What's the reason behind that?
First of all, we always make sure that our diligence with our paperwork.
Okay.
Because paperwork is very important. Remember,
so you need paperwork for domestic moves in Panama.
Domestic as well.
Okay.
So if you're going from Pedicee, now you're heading off to, say, Boquete, then I would have to then sit and say, all right, I've got to go to the office of the lawyer, get a permit stating that your name, cedulars, contents, plus with the driver of the day, and I've also get my company, my registration, everything has to be included into this permit. Okay. And once I've got the permit, I then can come here. Now what's also nice is our trucks are all closed.
Okay.
So
they're not those open metal cages with cattle in them sometimes?
No.
Okay. All right.
It's all clean.
Okay.
As we said, please don't think we can put cats and dogs in the back because it'll suffocate.
Right.
Because when it closes, it's airtight.
Right.
So if you leave here, especially in the rainy seasons here in Panama, that's the type of trucks you need to move with.
Sure, absolutely.
Because you get to the other side, everything's going to be drenched.
What happens if we don't have that paperwork and we move?
Well, it has happened before. I've heard people, they didn't want to use me, and they jumped the gun and they moved, and they were halfway to their destination, and there was a checkpoint, and all their stuff was turned around.
Right. Sent back
and
to where they
just
started.
sent back where it was going. And therefore, you've got to know, you've got to have all your paperwork correct.
Right.
And that's why the provider I deal with is very happy, because since I've been with him, touch wood, had none of that issues.
Right, because you do things by the book.
By the book. We make sure everything is done correctly. Everything is dotted, the I's are dotted, T's are crossed. And when I let the truck go, yes, we do have also, we get some young men to help also to load.
Sure.
The packing will be the onus of the people.
Right.
All right, we don't pack.
Okay.
But we do pack the trucks.
Sure.
We load the trucks.
Right.
And then that's it. And when the truck goes, then I don't know, right, everything is...
Can you get boxes for people?
I have once did get boxes. And it was from Panama City, so it can be a bit of a delay in that whole thing. But yes,
sure. But if people don't know where to get them, you help them with that.
I help them as well. Yes.
All right, perfect. Eddie, we talked about a lot of stuff today. For the community is extremely important. I think it's something that I talk a lot to my clients about. Obviously, I give your name to a lot of people because I think that you do care and you got a lot of heart in your business, which is important to me.
Yes.
And I think it's an important service that people need, and they don't know who to call if they don't know who you are. So I think that's why we need to do this video. All of Eddie's details, his WhatsApp, his website link, all that stuff will be in the link below the video, so that if you need Eddie, give him a shout. Say hi to Eddie, ask him questions if we didn't cover something that you're wondering about in this video. However, I think we were pretty extensive today. And Eddie, thanks for coming down. Eddie made a special trip down today to make this video because on his delivery days, he's just too busy to sit down for half an hour and do this type of stuff. So Eddie came down. Also, Eddie didn't mention, but I'm going to mention, I'm going to get brownie points. His wife, Nicole, works a lot with him. She tends to sort a lot of the packages. It's not just Eddie. He's not Superman. Probably without his wife, he would be poor, naked, and hungry, most likely. And much thinner. Which whatever. I'm not going to get into that one. But anyway, so Nicole is also the lifeblood of supporting what Eddie does, and lots of times she's running the sorting and all that type of stuff, and keeping Eddie in line basically for keeping him moving forward on it all.
I also forgot something to mention to you that you now mentioned about Nicole.
Yeah.
Last year Christmas, what was it, Christmas Eve, we were still driving around here, Nicole and myself. We got home, there was another box dropped off, we loaded everything, we came back out this way, and if I'm not mistaken, I think you guys received the goods as well in that second package.
Could be.
It was about 10 o'clock, I was in Pedasi.
Right.
In the evening, driving around delivering packages to everybody.
Truly Santa Claus sitting right here, folks. Truly Santa Claus.
So I shaved.
Anyways, we're going to wrap it up there. Any questions, let me know. Get a hold of Eddie, and this is how you get your stuff into Panama and basically help to maintain your quality of life of being able to order clothes and goods and fancy stuff. Because it's hard to find here sometimes the things that we're sometimes used to, or the quality of things that we're used to. So there you go. Use Eddie. All right. Take care.